In a chapter cursed by excess rage, on a planet forsaken by the light of the Imperium, someone must stand firm.
Hopefully that teaser has done its job and you're excited, because yes, the red and purple lights behind me mean that today we are continuing the Blood Angels painting journey. Join me and we'll discover why the Bladeguard Veterans are such an important squad of Space Marines and how they're going to fit into my own army. All of which is going to be hidden within a painting guide for these minis, because I'm just crafty like that. Thank you to Emperor for sponsoring this video, and more on them shortly. We are told that those who can't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The Imperium of Man, and in particular the chapters of the mighty Space Marines in the 41st millennium, certainly have their faults. But one thing I think they do get right is their ability to document history and then adapt. That's to give them some kind of a fighting chance in a universe that is intent on destroying them. Whether it's crafting a detailed codex of tactical doctrines to adhere to defeat your enemy, or it's far more visual, like in the case of the Bladeguard Veterans, who may be separated by an incredible amount of time from the knights of medieval times, but wow, are they strikingly similar. Medieval knights were the elite soldiers, veterans of brutal campaigns, and now adorned in shining armour, bound by a code to serve a lord or land, and they were more than a talented warrior swinging a sword, they were symbols of honour, loyalty, and courage. I don't think the similarities end there though, do they? Because they were also being trained from such a young age, and whilst weapons are a fundamental skill, their training was more centered around enduring hardship, and all of this was baked around their strong religious teachings. And it worked! They were feared by their enemies and they were idolized by those citizens they were sworn to protect. So as we launch forward into the grimdark future, I don't find it surprising at all that we have these veteran super soldiers that are standing tall in gallant armor and adorned with decorations. These legends of ancient terror must be a vague, distant myth, yet the influence remains as they carry their enormous crafted shields and their swords. Gone are the horses, but these knights remain close combat focused, with the impression that you can drop them into the heat of battle and they will continue to march forward towards the chaos and inject inspiration into those fighting alongside them. But here they are in my Blood Angels army known as Task Force Forlorn Peril. And I think the first thing you're going to notice is they don't fit. And I think that's what excited me the most about them. The background lore of Task Force Forlorn Peril is captured in the previous Blood Angels videos, but to bring you up to speed, they are abandoned on a distant world and they're having their faith and their resolve tested, all the while they're cut off from the light of the Imperium. They are running low on numbers and even lower on supplies. Captain Sirius Corridon is battling his own demons and is confronted with the decision of protecting his brothers in the Imperium's interests, or protecting the civilians of the planet from the Tyranid swarms devouring them. So far, the squads that we have been introduced to are fast and elite. We've had jetpack maneuvering jump intercessors, Death Company, Inceptors, plus fast-moving grab bikes, the iconic Baal Predator, and so on. So here we are seeing the violent side of the Blood Angels. Marines that are defined by excess and fall into the black rage. Each unit we have painted and deployed has conveyed the message that there is no happy ending. They are difficult to control, and really, we are just pointing them in a direction and seeing how much damage they can do before their number is called. Which is why leadership has been critical in Task Force Forlorn Peril. Captain Corridon is mission focused and is reliant on his chaplain to carry the role of being the spiritual leader and managing the afflictions of the Black Rage and the Red Thirst. This planet itself is consumed in a psychic storm harnessed by Hive Fleet Leviathan, meaning the company's librarian Dreadnought is occupied serving as the psychic anchor, who is trading his resilience for their most important commodity, time. There was a disconnect between the soldiers and the civilians. There needed to be a handful of warriors that would bridge the divide and inspire their brothers with their arrival onto the battlefield and serve as beacons of hopes to the vulnerable population cowering in the ruins of their cities. Enter the Bladeguard Veterans. So here is how the Bladeguard find themselves in Task Force Forlorn Peril. Captain Sirius Corridon, newly raised and burdened by grief, understood a truth that many would not yet voice. The Blood Angels could no longer fight as they once had. Speed and splendor had failed them. What remained was endurance. From the veterans who survived Baal's fires, Corridon formed a new inner circle. Not angels of the sky, but wardens of the ground. Warriors who would not yield, no matter how vast the darkness pressed upon them. These became the Bladeguard of Strikeforce Forlorn Peril. Each bears a storm shield honouring their fallen brothers. The sergeant carries the memory of Baal upon his back, stitched into a tattered cloak torn from a ruined banner. They do not wear these marks for honour, they wear them as penance. Where Corridon once carved his own shield in grief, the Bladeguard followed his example, not to remember glory, but to remember loss. Deployed from a battered Impulsor once intended for swifter war, the Bladeguard advance as a single, inexorable wall. They form the unbreakable core of Forlorn Peril's assaults, holding ground against tyrannid horrors while the captain strikes at the heart of the swarm. Their blades rise and fall not in rage, but in restraint. For each of them knows the curse they bear. The red thirst whispers, the black rage waits. Yet discipline holds. The Emperor's will binds them, even here in the darkness. And so they stand, shields locked, cloaks torn, armour scarred by ash and ichor. Not as the Blood Angels once were, but as they must be now. A chapter wounded, a strike force cut off from salvation, and a handful of warriors who refuse to fall, no matter how deep the night grows. This is Forlorn Peril, and these are its Bladeguard. Alright, I think my excitement for painting these minis is probably pretty obvious. I'm excited to show you how they've turned out in just a minute, but first it's really important that I thank today's sponsor, Emperor. They have sponsored the Blood Angels painting journey from the outset, and so it's thanks to them that we have around a dozen videos now and such a pretty looking army. This is a hobby that we love so much, but there's no denying that it's an expensive hobby, especially here down under. And Emperor are an Australian company that have been selling Warhammer models at a discounted price. Now, so many of the viewers are new to the hobby, so I feel it's important that whenever I have opportunities to share tips and tricks with you on where you can get the most out of your budget, that I do so. If you are here in Australia, then I recommend you open up their website and have a look at the prices compared to where you would normally purchase your models, and check out their loyalty point system, because you can convert your spendings into more minis and more paints. Plus, the team is absolutely lovely, and that's why I've been shopping there for over 5 years. And if you're elsewhere in the world, don't worry, you won't miss out, because I've put a list of companies that are local to you in the video description where you can pick up models at a discounted rate. Oh, also the channel Patreon has erupted over the last 12 months. What was originally a small core group of people akin to knights seated at a round table is now expanded all the way into something far more majestic, and it blows my mind. Oh, and I do want to welcome our 3 latest members, who are Thomas M, Jiggin90, and Mummy Corn. 3, you say, like Bladeguard Veterans. More like Lameguard Veterans. Not my best. so I don't even know how to tackle this segment anymore. Am I meant to be nicer? Nah, surely I can still be rude. But just know that I do appreciate you all. Appreciate using you as a shield in front of hordes of Tyranids. Sorry, habit. Let me distract you then, as it is time to reveal the newest squad for Task Force Forlorn Peril. It is the mighty Bladeguard Veterans Space Marines. My army is fast-paced and all up in your grill. But then there's these slow-moving Bladeguard models, so how do they fit in? Well, I was crafty, because around a month ago when I made that Baal Predator out of the Gladiator chassis, I was also creating the variant, which is the Impulsor, which is a transport for them. So these knights are going to have their very own chariot to launch them up the board and into combat. Now, whilst I'm confident I can get them into the fray, I'm not holding out any hope that the Impulsor here is going to be able to retrieve them. But that's okay, I kind of like the idea that they just crash their way into the center to fight for one of the objectives, only to then hunker down and try and fight off waves and waves of enemies on each subsequent turn. If you're new here, or if you've been enjoying the Blood Angels on the channel already, you'll be glad to know that I've put together a playlist with each of the Blood Angels painting journey videos. That way you can queue them up and enjoy the slow grow progression that is building the narrative and painting each of the squads. Plus you get to hang out with me while I do it. If you find yourself wanting more information on how they're specifically painted, well, the earliest videos in the series, as well as the ultimate painting guide for Blood Angels video that I have on the channel, really zero in on each of the techniques and the products that I use. I invite you to come and hang out with us in the channel Discord. There'll be a link for that in the video description below. And while you're there, why not treat yourself to the Flashing Badger podcast? We are 50 episodes in and we are having so much fun recording all of our role-playing adventures in different universe settings like Warhammer 40k. Over at Mini Wargaming Dave's channel on YouTube, you can find our video together where we sit down and showcase my Blood Angels whilst chatting about mental health in the hobby, and of course, there's a whole bunch of goofy dad energy. And shortly to be released on Mini Wargaming will be the narrative battle reports where my Blood Angels take on Matthew's Tyranids, so treat yourself to that as well. You as the community vote on which squad I add each time to the Blood Angels army, and you've been very vocal about wanting Assault Terminators, Sanguinary Guard, and the iconic Vindicator tank. All of those will be on their way, but if I haven't covered something that you want to see be painted in this army, you better let me know down below. I've been Mike, you've been absolutely amazing for hanging out with me until the end of the video, and now you get to check out some of the Discord community members' painted Bladeguard veteran squads that they've been working on, and then you need to get out of here, because I'm working on the next video, and it has a very green theme. Wow.
Speaks of our man who saved the world with just a stroke of a brush. You may know him by name. He's the badger with a magical touch. Flashing badger, flashing badger. Alright, flashing badger.